Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming back to hear a review of Power Book 2, Season 2, Episode 9, A Fair Fight on the Living to Do channel. We're going to first start off with this review with the first scene. And the first scene was Tariq having a nightmare. He's having a nightmare and he's in his classroom and he's confronted with so many people that he killed or had something to do with their murder. People from the past, including Carrie. Carrie has a phone in her hand saying it's his dad. His dad is the only one not in the room. And he wakes up from the nightmare and Effie is in his bed. So funny because everybody that in the nightmare that was dead except Lauren at the time, which was interesting. He saw her in the dream and she was also in the room. Um, the next scene we have Tate. He's going to be a witness. He's going to be the mystery witness. Actually, no, it was his brother who visited him in his office, and his brother had some knowledge about someone calling his phone saying that she witnessed the Jabari murder. And but she kept changing her story, so Officer Tate's brother, didn't believe her, and Tate wanted to know more about it. So the brother told him some information about what the witness says, that at first there was one shooter, and now she's claiming in her story that there's two shooters. Um, Now, Congressman Tate, he discouraged his brother to share this information with the prosecution. Um, Little do we know, he's always shady, even with his brother. Um, he had something up his sleeve. Did you know? Did you understand that at the time?
Understand what exactly?
What he was doing, Tate?
Yes.
Oh, you did. Okay.
I think it's funny how the congressman is playing dirty and under the table, and the cop is Kamal Tate, and he's super.
On the up and up.
Yeah. It's usually
Yeah.
the other way around.
Well,
I think.
Well, all politicians are corrupt. They're very corrupt. So are the police. But sometimes you'll get a good cop. It's just terrible that he would use his brother. He has no morals, even when it comes to his family.
Yeah.
The next scene is Monet with Mecca. I guess that's where she's been since she's been kicked out of the house.
Supposedly.
Uh huh. She's trying to call Zeke. He's not answering. And as she's calling Zeke, Zeke's texting Dante. He wants oh, he's I guess he wants to meet with Dante and Dante alone. And Monet says she talks about Zeke. She says that he doesn't know how to process things on his own.
And he's 23 years old.
23 years old. She's more worried about him. I'm first of all, you did. Should be more fragile. You just robbed him of his mother and father, or someone did. But he can't process things on his own. What? What? Um. So Tyreek talks to Tate. I think he talks about his trial. He has a 2 p.m. trial.
Mm-hmm.
But Tate wants some information. He wants more than the hearsay proof. You know, uh, Tariq told him about the photo, but he wants the physical evidence. So I guess he's gonna be a bad witness for him if he doesn't get the evidence before the trial, basically. Um, so there's a scene with remember the scene with Mecca and Cain in Mecca's house, and Mecca kind of had a I'm sorry, Cain had a smart mouth with Mecca, and
And
Mecca
Mecca grabs him by the throat, picks up a knife like he has previously killed 2 people by cutting their throats.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Put your hand on the cutting board." And then Kane does. And he drops the butcher knife.
He's mad because the product was stolen. Um, and he...
Claims to not know who took it.
Right, right. Um, at the same time, Kane gets a call from his dad ordering him to come home. Um, then actually, before Kane gets there, if he even gets there, we see Lorenzo in his bedroom, and he is destroying everything in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's mad because his product was stolen, and that's really going to hurt his business.
Right after he figured out what Monet was doing.
Right, right. And he gives Drew a gun. He's all strap up.
Mm-hmm.
And Drew tells Lorenzo that, they were robbed, and he knows who did it.
Well, he didn't necessarily
He said,
say that, but
he
Lorenzo
said,
put it together.
Right. He goes, we robbed the Connect.
Drew says that?
Yeah, he told Lorenzo that they robbed the Connect. And he ordered Drew to get those drugs back. So in the next scene we have the courtroom scene. And oh no, actually, we're at court, but Tariq is in the bathroom at court.
He's talking to someone in the stall.
Right.
And we figure out that it's Tate.
It's Tate. And Tate wants the evidence of the photo.
And if he doesn't get it, he's going up on the stand and saying what Tariq does not want him to say.
Yeah, so Tariq gives him the photo in the bathroom stall, and he has an envelope. Tate's looking at it, and he's like, wow. Because he knows he has something on Sweeney. It's going to help him in his political career. So Tate gets on the stand. Now he has his evidence. He gets on the stand, and Sullivan is questioning him, the prosecutor. And, he's talking about, he's praising his brother. What a great, he offered that information because no one was asking him about his brother. And in fact, Sullivan looked at him like, what? Or she looked back at Officer Tate like, what? Oh, my brother did a great job. Da 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 da. So he introduced his brother into evidence, basically. And they asked him, um, during questioning, they find out that Tate has some information that his brother gave him about this possible other witness. And I think he tells them in open court that the witness saw 2 people involved in the Jabari murder.
Which means that Sullivan's end of the court is holding information.
Yes. So that makes her look bad because, if he knows that, the police knew that means the prosecutor should have known that, and she didn't. Therefore, it looks like they're, withholding evidence.
And they're not giving Tariq a fair fight.
Right. And there's a Brady violator law, I guess, that they can't, that's against the law, and it's a possible mistrial, which would be in,
Davis and Tariq's favor.
Yes, it would be, but let's keep going. So, Mecca meets up with Zeke at a bar. He orders Zeke a beer. First of all, Zeke just found out he's 23. His ID must say 19, right?
Oh, yeah. They didn't put that together.
No, he looks totally grown. He's bigger than everybody else in there. And then this is where Mecca offers Zeke a private basketball coach because it will help him with his NBA career. He wants to help out. He's afraid that the league is going to find out how old he truly is. Okay, so.
And also.
Oh, he wanted to offer that coach if he spoke to Monet.
Also, while they're in the bar, Zeke's talking super loud about his age, and doesn't understand that that could affect his career in the NBA or potentially in the NBA.
He does. Oh, maybe he doesn't. He does, right?
He's talking to Mecca about how it's gonna affect his career because it looks like he's lying about his age and he's 4 years older than everyone thinks he is. And I thought he was saying it super loud to where a lot of people were hearing him.
Hmm. Maybe. Um, we see Monet, Zeke, and Mecca. They're all together in one room for the first time. The family of three, and that never was, is together for the first time. This is where Monet explains to Zeke about what transpired with him not being with his parents. And she mentions that Lena, I don't know if she said how Lena is related to her. Did she say it was her sister?
I don't recall.
But Lena always wanted a boy. So Lena is the mom that raised Zeke. So Mecca explains that, he didn't know what was going on. He was sent off to whatever, a military, what have you. Um, he said he knew nothing about Zeke until he saw him on ESPN
With Monet.
with Monet, and then he put it all together. I don't know how he did that really, because she said, I mean, he never said that was his mom, and he looks nothing like neither one of you. I don't know how he put that together. Um,
Well, he is a lot lighter than.
a lot. I don't know how. He saw a family resemblance on TV. Like, oh my God, that's my son. But this kid doesn't look like nothing like him. And she said that was his nephew. She says, that's my aunt. What makes you think that's your son?
Maybe he did his history, or maybe he just looked him up and figured out that one of his feet was bigger than the other.
Oh, or that, or maybe he looked up his birthday. But if he did, he would have saw it was a different year. But maybe he knew it was the same. He didn't know. He didn't know what the birthday was because he wasn't around. He didn't even know she was pregnant. Um, Oh, so Zeke asked Monet one thing he wanted to know was um, Monet. He wanted to know if she had anything to do with Carrie's death, and Monet lied. Um, and Mecca backed her up. She said, when she got kicked out of the house,
She went straight to
she went
Mecca's.
straight to Mecca, and we all know that wasn't the case. And Mecca knew something was up, but he went along with it. Okay, so we have I think it was Drew and Diana. They were um, it was mainly Diana devising a plan to get those drugs from course correct lockers, and she told Drew to get with Everett and get his key card. So he's over there making out, and he slips away, and he gets the key card so he can get in and out of the school when they want, because they're not students of the school. So the next scene we have Sullivan. She's questioning Braden, and she's playing him a tape. And the tape was why Lauren had them on the wire with Lorenzo in the room. So you hear Lauren, Braden, and Lorenzo on the tape. In this meeting, Trace is there. That's Braden's brother. I don't know why he was there. Also, Braden's dad, and I guess their attorney talking to Sullivan. I'm not sure why Trace had to be there. But then Trace was trying to throw his brother under the bus, saying, "Oh, he knows Lorenzo. We did drugs. They made us sell drugs. They made us do this and that." And Braden's trying to say he's lying or whatever. And then Sullivan has pictures taken uh, during a traffic stop. It was showing. I never knew. I didn't remember Ramirez stopping the Weston brothers.
He didn't stop them. After Kane and Braden were done selling with Kane, Kane picks them up, and then Ramirez pulls him over, and Ramirez says, "What are you doing with these privileged white kids?" Blah blah blah. And then
So Braden was in the presence of Ramirez at one point in time.
yes,
Oh my God.
Ramirez pulled over Kane, thinking it was just Kane.
That was last season.
Yes, and then Braden's in the passenger seat. And he says, "Oh, we weren't doing anything, sir. I'm a Weston." And then I think Kane says something to Ramirez, and then they're like, "Wait, what's going on?" And then I think that's when they put it together that, or Kane might have said you work for me or something.
Yeah,
But this was last season.
it was last season. I just don't remember Braden being in the presence of Ramirez. That's interesting. Okay. So, next thing we have Braden and Tariq back in the dorm room, and Braden is arguing because he knows Tariq showed the photo of his father and Sweeney, doing things improperly. But how did he know that he showed the photo?
What do you mean?
See, Braden came back to the room and he's mad because Tyreek took that photo from the photo album, and he was trying to save himself in court. Oh, he must have known. How did he? How did Braden know that photo was that he had the photo? I can't remember.
He must have just noticed it was missing.
No, did well.
Cause he was at his house.
Yeah, he came
Oh
back
wait,
in
no,
the room.
Braden took the thing from his house to
Yeah,
Tariq.
he must have got a picture of it. I don't think it was the original anyway. I don't think, but okay. But anyway, he's Braden's mad at Tariq about the photo. Um, so Diana goes to Tyreek's dorm room, and she tells him that Zeke is Monet's child, and of course,
Tariq's like,
he's
huh?
blown away. He didn't see that coming.
Uh-uh.
And so even though she's telling all this true business of her family, she's crying and looking for sympathy. He grabs her a tissue. She's asking for water. He has to leave the room to get the water. It was all a setup so she can have a moment alone with this phone. I don't know if he does not have a code on his phone, but she copies the what is it, the QR code,
QR code.
the QR code for the lockers. I guess he must have the master key. So I don't even know how she got into the phone. I'm sure a drug
She
dealer.
used a picture of Tariq's face and scanned it.
Oh, okay. She's smart all day. Um, so she got copied the phone. So the next scene we see Diana and Drew. They go up to the stairwell where they find the little camera. They put their little QR code on it. All the lockers open up and they're all full of drugs.
And then cue up the French Montana.
So Lorenzo, they drop the drugs off at Lorenzo's, and he's happy. He makes his drug drop offs to everybody. Um, on the street, he takes Drew, and they're just passing drugs out of the window of the car to the people on the street, and the people on the streets are giving them wads of cash. Okay, so the next scene, we have Zeke, and he's at a press conference. It's for his basketball. He's going to let everybody know that he's going to leave school for a while and work privately with a coach, so he has a better chance of making it in the league. And all of a sudden, everybody that in the press conference, all these reporters and people there are getting dings on their phone alerting them something viral has come out. There's a story about Zeke, that he's not 19, that he's 23. Oh, that messes up everything. Okay. The next scene we have Lauren. She meets Tariq in school. They're talking about, she wants to talk about Carrie's suicide. Um, she tells him, oh, she told on Milgram, or she told him about that the Milgram setup and what happened, what
Mm-hmm.
transpired. About, she was trying to do all this so her parents wouldn't know that she was caught with drugs in her room. Um, and she also tells um, Tariq that that Braden was on the wire with Lorenzo, and that's the information they have. Okay, so that alerts Tariq. He knows that's a terrible thing. That she needs to get out of town because she doesn't understand why. But now that he knows that Monet and all of them will know it was uh, Lauren wearing the wire that caught Lorenzo, they're going to put a mark on her and kill her. And so he's all, you need to get out of town quick. Get out of town. Um, the next scene, we have Monet, Mecca, and Zeke at the basketball court where I guess he's practicing. Um, and they're talking out there, and all of a sudden there's a shootout. Somebody comes around the corner and they're aiming at somebody, one of the three of them or all of them. They suspect that the people shooting at them has something to do with Lorenzo. And in the shootout, in the shootout, Mecca has his gun, Monet has her gun. Um, so it's definitely a target hit, but we don't know who it is just yet. Anyway,
Monet asks Mecca, "Was this for you?" And she doesn't realize that Mecca just killed all of GTG.
yeah, she doesn't know that either. Yeah, so we don't know who really did it at this point. It could be retaliation from that gang. Do they know Mecca like that by face? All the secondary men. I don't
Well,
know.
we don't know if who they were shooting at. They could think Monet took all of them out.
So in the next scene, we have Effie and Tyreek Storm, and Tyreek tells Effie that Lauren had a wire and she caught Kane and Braden on the wire, and so only person who seems, I mean, she's the first person to be upset. I don't even know why she's upset. It has nothing to do with her. She's all Malibu Barbie was a snitch because she's a goody two shoes, and you know Effie doesn't stop to hear Tyreek's explanation on what went down, how she was kind of framed or she was put in a corner to do what she did. Effie doesn't want to hear that. So Effie tells Kane in the next scene that he was caught on the wire, and he wants to know who told her that, and she tells him Tyreek told me. See, now he's gonna probably think that they're trying to set him up.
Tariq?
Kane might think that Tyreek was trying to set him up.
Yeah.
So
Actually, I don't think Kane is stupid enough to think that Tariq would do that.
I don't know. So I guess Lauren is persuading Kane to kill Lauren, or
What?
I'm sorry, Kane. So Effie is persuading Kane to kill Lauren.
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay, so in the next scene we have this guy Steve. He's the Democratic DNC chairman. He's the head of the party there, and he's having dinner with Tate. Now Tate has been talking with him, talking about if I get something on Sweeney, can you help me? I want to run for office. And he's telling, he's always told him, Sweeney's really clean. You're never going to get nothing on him. And that's when he gives Stephen the picture of Sweeney in an inappropriate circumstance, blackface. Whoa. So So he can probably lose his political career uh, over this. So maybe he will work with Tate in the future, helping him run for office. Okay. So this was random. The next scene we have Sullivan, prosecutor Sullivan, Jennifer Sullivan, on the street with Braden.
Pops out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, telling him if she gives info on Kane, if he gives info on Kane, that she'll go light on him, or I think they'll possibly have immunity, um, and won't be prosecuted any further. Trying to make a deal with him. Um, oh, let's see what happens. What else happened in that scene? So I think Braden is thinking maybe that could be his out if he turns on Kane. That he's out of it and he saves Tariq. I think he might feel bad.
And he won't have to do anything to what's her face, Lauren.
Yeah, right. He won't have to do any. Lauren won't be hurt. Oh, so Tariq is at Yaz's new adoption home with the conservator, and he says it's too late to stop the adoption. I don't know how it's too late. It's a matter of days. These things take a long time to do, but all of a sudden it's too late to stop the adoption. So he goes there, and he just looks in the window, peers in, and it's her birthday, and they got her a lot of gifts. And I guess maybe he thinks she might be better off in this situation than with him, because everybody that's around him gets hurt.
I think he was thinking about ghosts when he was looking at Yaz.
You think so?
From that nightmare he had the night before.
The next thing we have Mecca and Monet. They're talking, and she thinks that it was Lorenzo trying to shoot Zeke, but she doesn't know for sure. That's just speculation. So Braden talks to Effie, and that's where he's confiding into Effie that he has to kill Lauren because Kane has kind of instructed him to, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we wonder if her plan worked because Effie told Kane to do it. She thought Kane would do it, no problem, and that takes Braden out of the thing. But now that Kane has told Braden, it might have backfired because now Braden has to kill Lauren, and Effie knows this, and she also knows that Braden is too weak to do it. So her plan worked, but yet it backfired. So Mecca tells Kane, who is in his apartment or his house, that he's leaving town. And he wants to go get his bag, and the bag's not there that has the diamond and the money, and he thinks that it is Kane that stole it. So he comes out and he puts a gun on Kane. Wants his money. He wants his bag back. He locked him in the house. I don't even know how he can do that. He locked him inside his apartment.
I think Mecca has smart locks on all the exits.
He can lock you in.
Pretty sure.
I mean, okay, I could see that locking people out, but he locked him in the house, and he says there's no service, but yet he had service on his phone to call his mother, and he's told him, Mecca has locked me in this house. And she's all, give me a picture of this Mecca. Send me a picture. And I think he wanted the address. And so Kane is talking to his mom, Monet, and he has like this heartfelt goodbye. Like I think he thinks that Mecca's going to kill him. And meanwhile, Mecca has a tracking device on the bag. So he's tracking it. We see him. He knows where it is. So he's in pursuit to get his bag. So we see Tariq. He's in the dorm. Apparently he has the bag. Then
He
that's
gets a text from Kane saying Mecca's on his way. He got a tracking device.
yes. And so Tariq's in the bag and he finds a folder, some legal docs. He was quick to take a picture of it. Um, and I think he sends that off to Davis. You know, we didn't see Davis in this scene, did we, in this episode?
In the courtroom.
Oh, he's just sitting in there? He didn't talk?
He was talking in the courtroom and in the chambers.
Oh, okay. Um, okay, so Braden gets a call from Tariq. Tariq tells Braden, I need you to get Lauren out of town. I don't think he tells him why, but he wants him to get Lauren out of town. He thinks he can trust Braden.
Little does he know what Braden's really up to.
So, yeah, Davis is on the phone with Tariq, and he gives him the information about Mecca, and he tells him he was the greatest informant. This man's telling up on other people, little crime stuff, and so he doesn't get in trouble. So I guess by giving that information, he knows a lot about Mecca. Tariq is approaching his dorm room, and he gets into the dorm room, and who's in the dorm room? Mecca. He's looking for his bag. And he says, I know all about you, Tariq. He names Ghost. He doesn't name his father, James St. Patrick. He names him as Ghost. And as you know, people don't know him as Ghost. You have to be on the inside to know that. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't his street name. Well, then Tariq shows him what he knows. He calls Mecca by name Dante Spears. um, that's when I think Mecca throws him up against a wall, and they're trying to negotiate. Mecca or Tariq tells him he wants $2 million on an offshore account. And Mecca said he would do all that. He explained who he is, I guess maybe to scare him. He tells him he went to this. I don't know why he was telling him all this. He went to the School of the Americas. I wonder what that is, if that's a real thing. He sold information to the feds about Lobos. This is the first time we hear Lobos' name, I think, in Power Book 2.
Yeah.
And he also alludes to Ghost killing Lobos. I mean, so what? Even if Ghost did, Ghost is dead.
Well, we know he did.
Yeah. So you're gonna out his dad? You can say everything you want. The guy's dead. He can't go to jail for his crimes. You know. But I guess he tells him pretty much of who he is and what kind of what he has done in his past is informing on other people. I don't know how you inform on other drug dealers, yet you're allowed to deal drugs and be a great, huge kingpin.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
So Braden picks up Lauren and picks him up from her house. He gets in the car. They're going out. I don't know. She doesn't know where she's going. She's just going somewhere. He takes her off to a dark road, and he pulls over, tells her to get out of the car, pulls a gun on her, and he actually gives her money. She was so afraid, she's begging for her life, but he throws a bag of money at her and says, you got to get out of here. You got to run away. You know, she's about to run away, and then another car comes up this dark road, and it's Effie. Effie is coming to do the dirty work. She confronts Lauren, tells her to get in the car. She has the gun on her. She doesn't want to go. Effie punches, not even punches. She punches Lauren, but knocks her out
Yeah,
onto the
she
ground.
pistol whips her.
Or yeah, so
I'm
she
pretty
hits
sure.
her.
Yeah.
Anyway, she knocks her out. She's on the ground. We the next you see you don't actually see her, but you see her do it. But she gets her into the car. I don't know how little Effie got Lauren into the car, and uh, she drives off with her. And you just see Braden. He knows what's happening because he knows that Effie is a badass. He's seen it in action. I don't know if he's ever seen her kill anybody, but she will do what needs to be done. And so I think he knows. Oh, it's gone. She's a goner now. Um, and Effie just leaves Braden there. I guess she kind of looks disappointed at him because she knew he couldn't do the job. That's why she had to follow him up there. Um, Mecca comes to his house, and when he comes back to his house, I guess after leaving the dorm, Tariq's dorm, he comes home and he's starting to yell at Kane. He walks in more and he sees Monet's in there. Uh, so who played who here? I don't know.
Really, everyone played everyone.
Do they know that? I don't know if they know that Mecca played them.
What do you mean? Why would they
Well,
not know?
Mecca, well, Kane doesn't know Dante. He's finding out that that's Zeke's dad right then and there.
No. Diane told him.
Yeah, but he's finding out that oh, I guess Monet must have told him before he came when she saw the picture that Mecca is Dante.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking Kane knew who Dante was, but no.
Hmm. Okay. So now Monet wants Mecca to kill Lorenzo, and Mecca had to ask Kane, "Are you all right with that? You're killing your father." He goes, "Yeah, you don't know what kind of relationship we had. Yeah, I'm down with it. Just as easy. What did your dad do to you that you want him killed? He didn't do that much to you." Um, so I guess that they're going to devise a plan to kill Lorenzo. So the final scene, we see Effie. She gets back to the dorm room. She gets back to Tariq's dorm room. Boy, Tariq, the kind of life you live, you're a light sleeper that someone gets in your bed and it doesn't even alarm you. She gets back into his bed after we seemingly killing Lauren. She gets back and they put a close up on her face. Looks like she has tears in her eyes. Maybe she regrets what she did. So that was the episode. So next week will be the final episode, the season finale, episode 10.
This is going to be even more jam packed than the mid season finale. Very excited. I hope you guys are also excited as well. Leave a like if you enjoyed the review. Subscribe if you are new or if you haven't already. And we'll catch you in the finale next week. We got living to do.